Hello and welcome to another episode of Diary of a Castaway on Print Island. We're on season 2 and episode number 6, and this week we're going to cross the water again and we're going to see Joanne Gore of Joanne Gore Communications in Canada. Of course, the initials JGC, not to be confused with Jack Gotcher, who is also Jack Gotcher Communications, JGC, very different people.
One of the things, I feel like I'm talking a lot, Mark.
And Joanne started her company twice. First time, I quite liked the approach. It was like a Trojan horse.
This version of Joanne Gore Communications that everybody sees is actually version 2.0. Mm-hmm. The first version was probably 15 plus years ago. And I would say I was more of a freelancer. It was me. And I would go work with and for other companies. I'd go to one company 2 days a week. I'd go to another company 2 days a week. I'd do stuff from home, but it was just me, and I was limited to the time that I could spend doing that. I was doing great. It was a great opportunity. And it's funny, we talk about LinkedIn. I was using LinkedIn back then. Again, we're going back 15 plus years. That's how I would find freelance work. Right. I would look for companies who are hiring senior marketing professionals, director or above, and I would reach out to them and say, I know you're hiring. I know it takes a long time for the right fit, but the work still needs to be done. Let me come in and take care of the work while you are on your search.
Nice pick. And I like that.
And thank you. And I can help them vet the candidates. I could write the description for them. I could do the onboarding, but in the meantime, the work is getting done.
You didn't want the job yourself?
No, I didn't want to go work for a company. I was very happy just going in and doing whatever they needed help with. Most companies that I reached out to would say, no, we need somebody full time. We need somebody here. And I'd be like, okay, you know what? If you ever need help, give me a call. Sure enough, most of those same companies 3 months later would reach out to me and like, oh, we still haven't hired yet. And now we're pooched. Either they had an event coming up or there was something going on. They just could not live without marketing any longer. So that's how I had one gig that lasted over a year. And then they came to me and they said, so do you want to work here or what? And I'm like, make me an offer.
The second time was a more hybrid and very flexible model. I also think is fantastic.
Then it was like, okay, I'm not doing this again. Like, I'm not doing it again. So that's when I decided this version of Joanne Gore Communications was going to be launched, but I was going to do it smart this time. It wasn't going to just be dependent on me, myself, and I in 24 hours in a day. I am going to surround myself with the professionals that I have worked with throughout my career, who have, either subject matter expertise, vertical matter expertise, niche marketing expertise, whatever that looked like. And I thought really hard about it. And it was like, I want to be able to work with pretty much any client in software, manufacturing, hardware, and of course, print checks all those boxes.
Yeah. And Joanne puts a lot of her success down to the pandemic. And I tend to agree. It was a time when we all learned to be more confident online, facing a camera. It's a time when we met more people from different walks of life. And it gave us that belief that flexibility really does work.
And we all know what happened in March of 2020. And probably the best thing that could have happened for my business.
Same for my list of contacts. That's when we met.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened. Everybody was forced behind a camera. And the one objection of, no, we need you here, just suddenly went out the window because they couldn't have me there. They couldn't have anybody there. So I was able to prove once and for all what I had been doing for the past 20 years, which was working this hybrid lifestyle. And I was fully set up and functioning to work at home. And I was able to very quickly help a lot of our clients who were just like deer caught in the headlights. They didn't even know what to put on their website. I was getting calls. What do we put on our website? Do we, run the ticker tape banners of when we're open, when we're closed, how we're dealing with projects? That's what kept us busy the first couple of weeks, was just helping our clients do that. And then we started, the watershed started to happen, and got involved with more global activities, got introduced to the Crown Pub. And like they say, the rest is history.
So I asked Joanne, now you're an employer. What does that mean? You spend a lot of the time managing staff. But again, this hybrid model comes into it.
Not quite what you would think, because I only have one employee.
Ah.
I'm not even an employee. I have one employee, and that's my operations manager. Everybody else works on contract. And that's how I can cherry pick who I bring in. I can put people on hold, say, hey, we're working on this. I want you on the project. I'll know by X amount of time. Are you available? So it's more logistics management in a way.
Yeah.
And payroll, I intentionally set it up this way. I had a very good friend of mine who runs a PR agency this way as well. And I always thought, what an amazing model.
So she's got the ultimate network, the ultimate team that she pulls together in different formats depending on the need of the customer, the demands that are on her time, and the project that she's about to take on.
Well, I'm not even an employee in my own company.
Right.
One employee right now.
Yeah.
That will eventually change, but
you think?
Right now it's been working.
So I also asked Joanne for advice. What do you advise to somebody in a similar situation to you looking to start their own business? And it was a one-word answer.
Think about what gives you joy.
So I asked her to explain a bit more.
And I don't mean, I like making cookies, so I'm going to give everything up and make cookies. Mm-hmm. But what it means is, are you the type of person that works well with a manager? Or do you need to be the person at top? Like, do you work well autonomously? Do you work well in a team? Do you want to work for a big global corporate entity where you're in a silo and you own what you own and that's what you focus on? Or are you the type that is more entrepreneurial and you need to have your fingers in all the little pies and you need to know what's going on? And, are you that A type that needs to be out in front and always in front of people? Or are you prefer to just kind of stay back in the sidelines, just get your job done and just sort of watch from the sidelines? Yeah. All of that needs to be factored into what you do next.
And what's the Castaway takeaway? Is it to bring joy to your work? No, I think it's something else.
Let's not forget the old motto, if you're not getting paid, it's a hobby.
Just like this, Diary of a Castaway. I don't get paid. It's a hobby, but I want to share. And all these people are bringing some great value. So I'll carry on.
So make your cookies, and that's fine if that brings you joy. But how can you channel that joy? What will it be so that when you wake up Monday morning, you are actually have a smile on your face? And when it's Friday, you're like, oh, is it Friday already? Holy crap, what an amazing week I had.
Yeah. And we have to, at this point, plug Joanne's book, Thriving in Chaos. It's available on Amazon. It tells the story in more detail, but also has some lessons in there as well, and things you can take away, even more Castaway takeaways. So thanks, Jo. It's been great to catch up again. We met in lockdown. We haven't seen each other since. There has to be an occasion where we're both going to be face to face for once. Next week on Diary of a Castaway, I'm going on holiday. So just wait a week and we'll be back on course again with episode 7.